Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Mirikitani with another episode of Weighing In, brought to you by Nike Wrestling. Go to athleteps.com for all of your Nike gear. www.pureandclean.us, great mat cleaning products, great products for after practice. And Resolite, you guys know who they are, the best mats in the business, resolite.com. Joined today by Mark Ostrander. It is Thursday, Mark, 10 o'clock in the morning. Grant, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it with us, but he is driving tomorrow to Tulsa, and I am flying to Tulsa in the morning for the national duels this weekend. First of all, good morning, brother. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. So Eddie Woody pitch hit yesterday, and we went through these brackets. So yes, 2 days ago, I guess you and I did the top quarter bracket. We had Iowa beating Missouri. We had Illinois beating Little Rock. We had Iowa beating Illinois and Missouri beating Little Rock on the back. And if you guys are not watching, please, when you have time, go back and watch this. We have our bracket filled out as far as we can. So the second quarter bracket, Mark, we did Northern Iowa against NC State. This was probably the one that took us the most time. What we did was kind of look ahead and see if either one of these teams matched up very well with Oklahoma State. NC State matches up better. Plus, we really want to see Spratley, V-Rob. We really want to see Vega, Ryan Jack, etc. So we had NC State advance, but we're not really too sure about that. Oklahoma State, we had advancing over a beat-up Cornell. We had Oklahoma State advancing over North Carolina State, and Northern. We had Northern Iowa going against Cornell. Give me 1 second here. Okay, that was Grant, so I apologize. We had Ohio State over Wyoming. We're interested to see 197 there and maybe 184. I also got a notification about a bunch of guys that are out for the national duels, which I will read to you guys here in a bit. And then VTech Minnesota was one of the more interesting ones. VTech, I think it was 4-1 or 4-2 in terms of probables in Minnesota's favor. So we went with Minnesota. We're not sure Virginia Tech can't win all those swing matches, but they'd have to win all those swing matches to get it to 6-4. So do you at least agree with the logic of that without us going through all this?
Yeah, that makes 100%. I think Virginia Tech's got a really good team. I'm not sure they're 100% right now with who they're wrestling, and you're going to go through some of the people that will not be wrestling this weekend. And it does make a big difference in how we pick some of these, results.
Yep. And then Arizona State and Michigan, we talked about, I made a pick of Larkin over Lachlan McNeil as probably the upset of the first round. But even with that match, I don't think Arizona State right now has the firepower to get to 5. They don't have Colton Hawks at 197, and that's a match on paper they'd be favored to win.
Yep.
And then Lehigh against Nebraska. We have Nebraska winning. So now then we went to, and we have Nebraska beating Michigan.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we are. Let me pull up. Here are the injuries for this says notable names not listed for national duels. They have these sort of in alphabetical order. Colton Hawks for Arizona State, Meyer Shapiro for Cornell, Michael Geoffrey for Illinois. Lehigh's really banged up. No Crookham, no Matty Lopes, no Luke Stanich, no Kelvin Griffin, no Nathan Taylor. Little Rock, no 25 or heavyweight, Jeremiah Reno, Josiah Hill. Minnesota, no Drew Roberts. That could make a difference in that duel with Virginia Tech. Missouri's really hurt with no Conway or Cam Steed. NC State, as we mentioned on the air yesterday, which came out today, no Isaac Trumbull, and Wyoming has no Cole Brooks. So Eddie did his picks, and he's got Oklahoma State beating Iowa, Ohio State beating Nebraska, and Oklahoma State beating Ohio State. For people following this tournament, the 2 semifinal losing teams wrestle for 3rd. So the backside of the bracket is for 5th. And then those 2 teams that lose in the match to get the 5th wrestle for 7th. Did I do a decent job of explaining that?
Yeah. Really good job. So
I apologize. What'd you say?
I said a really good job.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so here is Iowa, Oklahoma State. I deferred for making my picks yesterday with Eddie. So if people are watching this, you can see this now, right? This is the Matt King's graphic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Peterson. Okay, I'll read them on the favored and whether it's by 1 slot or by 30 slots. Spratley over Peterson, Ayala over Figueroa, Bailey over Vega, Swiderski over Voinovich, Robidoux over Jordan Williams, Caliendo over Lockett, Kennedy over Facundo, Ferrari over Ryder in a 3-4 matchup, Merrill over Endine, Peter over Doucette. That is 6-4 Iowa. Okay, so I'm not saying that's how we're going to pick it. I mean, they have a 3 over a 4. They have a 2 over a 4. To be fair, Oklahoma State's got a 9 over a 14 and a 6 over a 10. So I guess let's just start. I will pull up our picks. I'm going to punch these in as we go, Mark. You want to go evens or odds? I mean, it's not like we're trying to outbid each other, but just what do you want to go first or second on evens or odds?
No, I'll do odds. That's fine.
Okay, you have Spratley?
I do.
By decision? You tell me if it's not a decision.
Okay, decision.
Okay, I have the same thing. Okay, 33. Sorry, I'm toggling. I'll take Figueroa. Ayala, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm going to take Drake also.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I feel like even though he lost to Figueroa, he's just in a better place now. So I was going to say major, but I feel like that's too much.
Yeah.
Okay. 41. We have Nasir, Bailey, Vega, and I think one of the more interesting matches.
Boy, I agree with you 100%. I'm going to go with Bailey, but it'll be a really close match. I think Bailey's got a little too much experience. He's been through these wars a little bit more than Sergio has, and I think Sergio at the end of the year may be better than this year, but right now I'm going to go with this year.
I think something for people to keep an eye on is Bailey a lot of times picks neutral, and Vega's good on top with that bar half series, and so you could make an argument Vega's winning the match 1-0 when it starts. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I'm not saying it should happen. We just saw him choose a lot of neutral last year, and in matches where that point would have made a big difference.
Yep.
Vega likes to cradle from everywhere. He's just as long as Nasir Bailey is. I think Bailey's physically stronger, though. I mean, he's a 3rd year out of high school, and Vega's a 1st year out of high school. So I think I'm going to pick Bailey also, but I think it's Sergio Vega could get a cradle. He could pin him, or he could just get like 5, 6, or 7 points.
This to me is totally a toss-up match, even though you've got numbers
9 and 17.
9 and 17. I mean, Vega was very impressive in their last duel. I was really impressed with him. So, yeah, I like Vega. I got to give the 3rd-year kid in college the advantage right now.
Well, the problem with Vega is he looked fantastic. He just didn't wrestle a guy that tells you a lot. Like, his win tells us a lot less than Landon Robidoux's win.
Yeah.
To be fair. So, okay, Swiderski over Voinovich. I'm going to take Swiderski. I think he bounces back. I think it's like a 6 or 7 point decision, but Voinovich is pretty stingy. So I think it's a decision.
And I would agree with you.
Okay. 57. We have, this is 10 versus 6. Excuse me. Jordan Williams, Landon Robidoux. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a nail biter also. Man, Robidoux just stays in such good position. He looks so impressive. So did Jordan Williams. I guess I'm going to go with the Homer team. I'm going to go with Jordan Williams by decision over Landon.
Okay, I'm going to take Robidoux. I guess it's just a transitive theory for me. He beat Cardenas. Feel like that's a win that Jordan Williams doesn't have in his career yet. To be fair, Jordan Williams hadn't wrestled 157. Like, if you told me I was wrong at 149, I'm 141 and 157, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I don't think either one of us would be surprised if Vega won. Nope. And I don't think you'd be surprised if Robidoux won, and I wouldn't be surprised if Williams won, but we got to make picks, so we're making picks.
Agreed.
Okay, 165, Caliendo over Lockett, or Caliendo versus Lockett. I'm going to take Caliendo in like a one takedown match. I told you this off the air. D. Lockett winning on riding time. Like, I had 3 or 4 people call me, and they're like, he's not as good as I thought he was. He didn't have that much offense. Well, first of all, Hunter Garvin's really freaking good. And second of all, we've all coached and we've all wrestled in matches where you have to adjust. You're like, wow, I thought I was going to be able to get 2-3 takedowns, and this guy's stance, hand fighting, motion, whatever the case may be, physical strength is different and more difficult than I thought. And he just adjusted and found a way to win. And if you had told me a true freshman was going to ride a guy that's a multiple-time All-American for the whole second period, I would not have thought that.
Yeah.
But I just think, I feel like Caliendo's on Caliendo Island right now. Like I think he's almost equidistant between Messenbrink. I feel like he closed that gap a little bit at the end of the year, and then everybody else to him. Obviously, we haven't seen Lockett versus him yet. We haven't seen Blaze against him yet. But I'm just going to give respect to the guy that made the finals.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Caliendo. I think he wrestles a full 7 minutes. He is not going to slow down. And I don't think D. Lockett has yet seen this in a grown man. I know international is a little bit different because you can score a lot of points once you get the takedown real quick and it's over. This is going to be a 7-minute grind with Caliendo. And I don't think D's seen it quite yet. I think he's very talented. I think this could change at the end of the year. You could see D. Lockett in the national finals. But right now, I think Caliendo's probably, till you get to wrestle these guys at least once, kind of get a feel for what it's like and what you have to do. It does make a big difference. So that's why I'm taking Caliendo.
And to be fair, Lockett has better freestyle wins than Caliendo does. But
Caliendo just started wrestling freestyle last year. I don't think he did in high school. If he did, I don't remember him wrestling much. And he made a lot of mistakes early, and then actually started beating some decent kids. So, yeah, I think it's new to him. It's a little different style of wrestling.
Okay, Patrick Kennedy, Facundo.
Yeah, I think people don't believe that Facundo's very good, and I think he's a stud. But I'm going to go with Patrick Kennedy, another one of those. He's going to grind it for 7 minutes, and he's not going to stop until you've done that with these guys. And I know Facundo's been in the wrestling room at Penn State for 3 years before he came to Oklahoma State, so he's used to that kind of stuff. But I think Patrick Kennedy right now is just a little bit better.
I agree. And I mean, Kennedy's got his story about not being the starter and then being the starter. And I mean, I had 15 coaches call me about how do I get to Patrick Kennedy? And, they wanted him to go in the portal and all these other things. So, and he's been through the fire, right? Like, he had one nationals where he lost in the round of 12, and then last year where he battled back hard. So I'll take him. The next match is maybe, at least one of the feature matches of this duel, Ferrari Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Ferrari. I just think he's one takedown better. I think he's longer. I think he can get to the legs one time on that swing single. I think he beat Plott, but it was in Iowa. This is going to basically be in Oklahoma State's backyard.
Yep.
And Ryder did not look great in their duel against Stanford. He looked unbelievably good against Jackson Smith, but give me Ferrari by decision.
And I agree 100%. I think Ferrari is I think he's a 2 takedown better right now at this time than Ryder, but I think Ryder's going to be moving up the ladder all year long. He's just getting his matches in. He's a freshman. You know,
And to be fair, he's already at 4.
Yeah.
And so the 3 guys ahead of him are Ferrari, McAnally, and Rocco Welsh. And you have a guy that beat a top 3 guy, a guy that made the finals and lost to a 5-timer as a true freshman, and McAnally, who took 3rd at a weight with Parker Keckheisen and Carter Starachi.
Yep.
Okay. Massimo and Dean and Cody Merrill.
Yeah. This is an interesting match for me. I think Cody Merrill is probably technically a better wrestler than Dean. So I'm going to go Merrill by decision.
Okay.
Which surprised me because I was going to take a Dean, but Merrill's got experience. He wrestled a 2-point match against Buchanan last year at the Iowa tournament at Christmas time. So I think Cody Merrill's probably a little better right now, but I think I'll take a Dean to be an All-American. I'm not sure Cody Merrill is going to be an All-American. So just that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I agree. And I have Keeter at heavyweight. I just think he's better than Doucette. I don't know that there's a lot. I mean, because we have to get to some, the second semi and the final. But I mean, do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I got Iowa winning.
You have it 21-9.
Yeah.
I have it 18-12. Okay. And I could see 15-15 pretty easily. They win 41, they win 65, they win 84. I gave all 3 of those matches to Iowa.
Yep.
So anyway, but we have Iowa advancing in the bracket then, correct?
I do, yes.
Okay. And so then we will have to do our 3rd place match of Oklahoma State against the loser of Ohio State, Nebraska. So
this is going to be a lot tougher than I thought. Not going through their lineups that
I did it very quickly, like a week ago, and I'm going to tell you, I had Ohio State winning the tournament.
Yeah, and you may be right. I picked Nebraska to be in the finals, but I think the first 3 weights.
Well, we're going to get to this now. So
holy moly.
Brendan McCrone against Lordson, Davino. I'm just reading these left to right.
Okay.
Davino, Van D, Mendez, Hardy, although I don't think that's going to happen. Styles, Lamer, Cannon, Antrell, Taylor, Gallagher, Arujau, Karchla, Minto, Fishback, Allred, Geog, McDaniel, Feldman, Ferrari. This is misleading, though, because there's no chance Lamer.
Correct.
Okay? So on paper, Nebraska, is favored from 57 on up, but that includes a 14 over a 17, a 4 over an 8, a 6 over a 7, and a 2 over a 6. Ohio State's favored, but one of those is a 9 over a 10 and a 1 over a 2. I personally think Nebraska is probably going to bump Rock Hardy because I think they have more wins. So when I make the picks, I'm going to pick Ohio State at 41 and Nebraska at 49, even though it's going to sound weird because Ethan Styles versus an unranked guy.
Okay. So
having said that, I'll go odds this time because you went odds last time.
Okay.
I've got McCrone, and we'll see if this type of decision matters afterwards, but I've got him over Cale Lordson.
Agreed.
Okay.
No, I don't think there's any argument. He's just better.
Okay, 33, you got Davino or Van D?
I got Davino.
Me as well. And I think a lot of people that don't know think that's crazy, but I think Davino is like borderline national final good. I've got Mendez over somebody else at 41, and I'm going to say +1, like Major.
I'm going to say +2 Tech.
So you agreeing that he's not wrestling Hardy?
No, I'm just saying if Hardy doesn't wrestle, I'm going to put Mendez in that category, that he'd probably tech anybody else that they put in there. I don't think they're going to change. David, for some reason, I think they'd rather put somebody out against Styles and try to win than have to give up bonus points at 41, because Brock Hardy has beaten Mendez before. I got a feeling Nebraska's just going to leave Hardy where he's at and say, let's do it.
Let's make my argument, and then we can make your argument.
Okay.
My argument is they just need a split. Like if we can get a split at these two weights, we think we can win 5 of the other 8. Okay.
Okay.
And so, because if Mendez beats Hardy, then Styles is probably going to beat the backup. And now instead of it being somewhere in the, let's say Mendez gets a tech and Hardy gets a decision against Ethan Styles.
Yep.
Ohio State's +2 on that transaction. And if Mendez beats Hardy and Styles beats a backup, which he could beat by bonus, it could be +6 or 7.
Sure.
But the marginal's +4 or 5. So I think it's the smart thing for them to flip them. Because if Hardy beats Mendez, you're like at even or +1. Where if you go the other way, maybe you're -1 or 2. But I don't know. I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay. It'd be fun to see, because we know Chance Lamers is not wrestling until second semester, correct?
That is correct.
So he shouldn't even be on the board.
Well, he's just, listen, the website just puts guys that are ranked.
I understand that. Yeah. So it's going to definitely be their second string guy, and he may be decent. They may think he can beat Styles. Styles has not lit the world on fire just yet this year.
Okay. There's very few guys that have second string guys that are beating returning All-Americans. This is not Penn State at 157. So I think if you're realistic, you're like, hey, we're a slightest of underdog at 49, and we're a pretty substantial underdog at 40 or 40. We're a slight underdog at 41. We're an underdog at 49. If we flip-flop, we split. So anyway, we're making our picks based on that, okay? So you have now it's Hardy against Styles. I need your pick.
I'm going to take Styles.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take Hardy.
Because Hardy's going to win at 141. That's a big difference. And Styles is long, lanky. That's just kind of what I think.
I'm going to take Antrell Taylor over Cannon.
And I agree 100%.
Okay. Um, 65. Sorry, I'm trying to get the font and everything right here. $65 is Gallagher or Rougeau, 14-17. Who you got here?
I'm going to take Gallagher just because he has a little bit more experience by decision.
Okay. So this duel's over for you, I think.
I think it is.
I'm going to take Rougeau. I'm high on him. Okay, 74. I love Christopher Minto. I think his length gives Karchela problems, and he gets a decision.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I love Christopher Minto also, but I'm taking Karchela.
Holy crap! You got this as a blowout.
Not yet, but
you have Nebraska winning one match right now. It's done. Your duel's done.
You know what? Right now on paper, this is just how I see it. I don't know why I see it this way. It's just when I start looking at the matchups, I love Karchela. I think he's an absolute beast. Minto had a great year last year, and he was so fun to watch. And it was nice to have him on, one of our fantasy teams. But Karchela's He's tough. I mean, they don't give him enough credit. He's beat some really good kids and has been in some great matches. I got to think he's legit. I could see Minto beating him, but I got to go with Karshla. And this next match is really going to surprise you because I think Fishbach is better than Allred.
I have the same pick.
Oh, okay. Then I didn't surprise you.
But I think it's really close.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but again, it's like the duel before. There's a bunch of swing matches in here. Okay.
You're right.
I'm going to take Geog's ranked lower, but I'm going to take him over Cam McDaniel.
Okay, I'm going to take Cam McDaniel just because I don't want Nebraska people to hate me completely. But
you got these dudes winning 2 matches right now.
Oh, I'm going to give him 3 because Ferrari's going to beat them.
You got Ferrari, and I got Ferrari. Okay. I've got this 16-15 Ohio State, which is an awesome duel.
Yep. It's going to be a good duel no matter what they do with their lineup.
Well, it's not yours. You got a 23-9.
It's still a good duel. There's still going to be some great matches. These are not going to be runaway matches, David. These are going to be nail biters. I just don't think we're giving Ohio State enough credit on how good their team actually is going to be.
We just picked them.
I know that, but I mean, it's like, is it going to shock you if Gallagher wins? I mean, would you be shocked?
Okay. No, I mean, if you go through this, okay, here's what I think for sure. I think Macron wins. You agree?
Yes.
I think Davino wins. You agree?
I think he does, but that's another toss-up. That could go either way. I think Van Dies is an absolute beast.
Okay. I think Antrell wins.
Yes.
Okay. I think Ferrari wins.
Yes.
Okay. So it's 2-2 with 6 toss-ups.
Yep.
Okay. Like, I mean, I pick Mendez, but I don't know if I pick him in November. I pick him in March every day of the week. Yep,
I agree. Hardy could, and Hardy may not be. I just don't know what they're going to do with their lineup. I guarantee you if Van Dies beats Davino, Hardy's wrestling Mendez. They're not going to mess with their lineup, I don't think. I don't think they're going to think
they have. A lot. And listen, we assume they're going to start at 25, but they don't have to.
I know.
Okay, so now we have Iowa and Ohio State. Okay.
Okay. This ought to be interesting.
I am fascinated. Okay, so here are the matchups. Dean Peterson, Macron, Ayala, Davino, Nasir, Bailey, Mendez, Voinovich, Stiles, Jordan Williams, Brandon Cannon, Caliendo, Gallagher, Patrick Kennedy, Karchla, Ferrari, Fishback, Endine, Geog, Keeter, Feldman. So just to give people an idea of how close some of these matches are, let's say we take guys that are ranked within, say, 10 or less slots of each other. 125 is 8, 133 is 6, 141 is 8, 157 is 1, 174 is 6, 184 is 2, 197 is 1, and heavyweight is 1.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And if I'm not mistaken, David, and I could be wrong, but I don't think Patrick Kennedy has ever beat Karchla in a match.
Well, guess we're going to find out. Huh?
Other people have beat him, and then Kennedy beat them. But I think head to head, I don't remember Kennedy. They've always been really close, but I don't remember him ever beating Karchla.
Well, and Keeter's never lost to Feldman.
He has not, but that's going to be a great match too.
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe he just controls it, right? Like that's the whole thing. Okay. Yep. All right. So we have Peterson against Macron. You want to go first?
I'll take Peterson by decision.
I will too, but Peterson didn't look great against Bellarmine.
No, he didn't.
I'm going to take Drake But man, I love me some Ben Davino. Like, I think this match is way closer than people think. I'm just telling you.
I think it's a 2 takedown win for Drake. I think he's just better on his feet, David.
Okay, so if you say it's a 4-point spread, I would take Davino my +4. Just
I'm sure you would.
okay. I'm just trying to let people listen.
I agree. I just think Drake's 2 takedowns better than Davino. I think they're both very similar on the mat. I don't think this is going to be a riding time. People aren't going to get turned. Nobody's going to get caught on their back like if you're wrestling somebody like Illinois' 33-pounder, where he's going to lock you up and toss you right to your back like you did to Drake last year in the Big Ten. I think Drake's technically a little bit better right now than Davino, and Drake is going to keep coming to score points. That's just kind of how I feel right now, and I could change my mind after this weekend easily.
Jesse Mendez, Nasir Bailey.
Mendez by a major.
I agree with that. I don't know that there's a lot else to say. I think that match is close for a while, and then he just sort of breaks it open.
Yep.
Styles, Voinovich, I'll take Styles.
Agreed.
Okay, 57. By the way, we have this 2-2 right now. Jordan Williams, Brandon Cannon. You pick this one. That'll be fun.
I think Jordan Williams wins it. I think he's a little bit better on his feet. On the mat, I could see that being a problem. But I just got to pick somebody in there. What, 8 and 9? Basically got the same ranking, 8.3 to 11.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Williams.
I'm going to take Cannon just so we're not identical.
Okay.
I don't feel very good about that. So, like, nobody, like, come get me. Like, I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, it's such a like, Cannon was like the 3rd stringer at the beginning of the year, and then I think he won the Big Tens or made the finals.
Yep. Yeah,
that was
phenomenal season. Yep.
That was the way where, like, Ethan Miller was undefeated, and then Teamer was in there but banged up, and Case. I mean, like, Jordan Williams looked great, but he looked great against Bellarmine. You know, so who knows?
And here's the thing, David. We don't know what's going to happen in the first 3 rounds of the tournament, how these guys are going to perform. And if Jordan Williams goes out against, say, Oklahoma State and lays an egg and gets hammered by somebody that he thinks he can beat, even if Iowa beats, Oklahoma State, what's Williams' head going to be when he has to wrestle somebody like Cannon in the finals?
Yeah, or he could wrestle out of his mind and be on cloud 9 and wrestle great. Like, it can, well, obviously you're not predicting one way or the other, but and it's tough because we're predicting this as if they wake up on Saturday morning and are wrestling round 1, and that's clearly not the case. But
Agreed.
You got to make picks.
Yep.
Okay, Caliendo Gallagher. I'm going to take Caliendo. I'm going to give him a major. I think he's just going to wear him down.
I agree.
You do?
I do.
Okay. So right now we have 1 match different.
Yep.
Okay, 174. Kennedy Kartsla.
I'm going Kartsla just because I don't think Kennedy's ever beaten him before. It's going to be close. I like Patrick Kennedy. Obviously, I'm an Iowa guy. But just on paper, what I've seen in the past, Kennedy hasn't figured out Kartsla yet. So I'm going to go with Kartsla.
I agree for the exact reasons. I think it's a style matchup. Like, I think Kennedy's short for the weight, and he knows, and that he uses that to advantage. Like, I don't know why I'm picking Christopher Minto after saying that, but I am. But he's very good at getting underneath people and getting the legs and attacking knees down when he needs to. And Kartsla is a freaking tree stump and is really difficult for him and keeps phenomenal position. I had one coach say Kartsla had the best position coming out of high school he'd seen in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Ferrari, Fishback. By the way, it seems like Ferrari is wrestling a lot of really good dudes in this tournament. So I'm going to take Ferrari.
Yeah, I agree. I'm riding the train with Ferrari until somebody beats him, and that may not happen until Minnesota duel, possibly. That's going to be a match. That's the one I've been waiting to see. I just can't wait to watch those two go at it. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match.
Okay, Endine Giag.
I'm gonna take Endine. I don't know why. I like this kid. He's got a great double leg. He's short. He's hard to get underneath. He's really quick, and I just think he's decent. He's not very good underneath. That's what scares me.
I was going to say, I think this guy, he can get the dog rode out of him right now.
Yeah, and that can wear him out. Obviously.
I took Giag.
Okay.
And we're both taking Keeter.
Yes.
So once again, you have the blowout. You have Iowa winning 1, 2, 3, 4. You have it 7. 7 times 3 is 21, plus a bonus is 22. You've got it 22-10 Iowa, shockingly. By that, sarcastically. I have it 16-16. And I will take, so if this is right.
If it's right.
The criteria, assuming there's no crazy, like unsportsmanlike stuff, it's number of wins, number of bonus point wins, everything's tied.
Yep.
So it goes, in college, it goes to match points.
Okay.
So we have, I'm going to pick Ohio State because I just think it's wild.
Okay.
So our bracket is very different. We have both. Okay.
Now, to be fair to the listeners, I sent you my picks earlier today.
Well, but you sent them in hieroglyphic. I couldn't even tell what that was.
Doesn't matter. I sent them. But I had Nebraska wrestling Iowa in the finals until we went through match by match. And then I had Ohio State beating the dog out of Nebraska.
Do whatever you want. It's fine.
I don't understand. But once you see name by name, it makes a lot more sense.
Okay. Let's do Oklahoma State and Nebraska quickly because that's the third place duel. Then we'll get out of here. Okay. I'm just going to go through this. You tell me if you disagree. Spratley over Lordson.
Yep.
Okay. I got to write this down this way. Spratley over Oregon. Oklahoma State won. Van D over Figs.
I'm going to take Figs.
Okay. So now I got to do this both ways. You've got, okay. This is Mark. This is me. Vega or Hardy?
I'm going to take Hardy.
Me too. Swiderski over Rebecca.
Swiderski. Major.
Okay, we'll see if that matters. Antrell over Rabidou.
Take Antrell.
I got to stop saying over. I'm comparing. Sorry. Lockett or Rougeau?
Lockett.
Facundo Minto.
Minto.
Ryder Allred.
Ryder.
Merrill McDaniel.
Merrill.
Ferrari Doucette.
Ferrari.
You got it 6-4 Oklahoma State. I got a 5-5.
Okay.
So here's what's cool about this event, and here's what's not cool. What's cool is they're having it, and it's for money and everything else. I was talking to a friend of mine about this. What's not cool is I don't think these kids are wrestling for money. Like, I know people are getting a lot of money in NIL. I know I was on that press conference and they've replayed it. Flo replayed it. And at least 2 of those coaches said we wouldn't be going if it wasn't for the money. But the kids they're already got paid. Like, they're going now where the coaches tell them to go.
Yep.
I said this with Eddie yesterday. I think if you can seed this thing to 4 with the methodology that you said Willie described in his podcast, they could have seeded it out to 16. Like, it's absurd to me that Minnesota is wrestling Virginia Tech in the first round.
Yep.
Like, I don't mean this rudely, but there's some teams in there that are clearly the 14th, 15th, 16th best team.
Yeah,
They
with
should
who
be.
they're going to bring, yes, without it. Well, but I believe Cornell's going to be a really good team.
I'm not talking about Cornell. I'm not trying to call people out, okay?
I know,
I'm saying
but I'm saying
there's a
there's
team
teams right now that don't have their full lineups in, David.
I'm not talking about that. I don't care about that. That's convoluting it. What I'm saying is there's a team in there with one All-American, and half their team didn't qualify. Okay? They should be the 16 seed. That's it. Like, that's, if you have this data and you can do this and you run all the permutations, and if they go 0-15, then they're the 16 seed.
Well, that's the problem with how they're picking the teams by what last year happened, because you lose your
team. Again, that's different. They've picked the teams now. So once they pick the teams, now they ran all these permutations and they determined that these were how they thought it would go. Well, if you did that, you could have done it for all the teams. Like, this is the exact same thing with individual seeding as in NCAAs. And I'm sorry if you're getting frustrated with me, and I apologize for cutting you off. But they used to seed 8 at nationals, and then they seeded 12. And then I think it was 16, and now it's 33. If you have the data, use the data. Your point about, well, if you did it with Cornell and you add Meyer Shapiro or you take him out, is totally valid. Okay? Not arguing that at all. And that screws things up. And like Lehigh probably would want a few more duels, and you take out Crookham and you take out Stanage and you take out Nathan Taylor, and I don't think they're going to win a duel.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to get to 5 wins, and I understand that those are 3 weights where you win. You go 3-0 80% of the time in this format, and in the country, 90% of the time.
Yep.
So the argument against what I'm saying is, well, you can't do that because even if you did it, you're not getting the rosters you thought. Like, Mizzou's not bringing Cam Steed now. So that was a guy who's an All-American who he would be probably their most likely win in every duel. He's their highest ranked guy. Okay. I'm just saying, it to me is a travesty that Minnesota is having to wrestle Virginia Tech, unless that's the 8-9 matchup. And if that was the 8-9 matchup, then they should be like, I have a hard time seeing. I would agree that the first 4 teams are probably the best 4 teams. I don't know if North Carolina State is 5th without Trumbull and Brophy. I don't. I mean, but like Virginia Tech, Tony Roby said Ventresca's going to redshirt, and then he's not going to redshirt.
Yeah.
So that's the fundamental problem with this too. Like, it's early in the year. If you win something, you win money. But I don't think any coach has the national duels written in their contract as a bonus. In fact, I'm almost positive no one does, because they just came out with this thing.
Agreed. And that may be the reason they're not seeding all the way to 16, David, is that they're just putting this together, and they wanted to separate who they thought the 4 best teams were and then throw everybody else in. And it's,
Well, I think
I agree. I wish some of these teams were going to be able to. I think Minnesota's probably realistically maybe the 5th best team there. Virginia Tech, if they're healthy, may be the 5th best. But to have those 2 wrestle first round doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's going to make for good viewing. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the Virginia Tech Minnesota thing feels wrong to me. I think they intentionally drew North Carolina State into the bracket where they did as the 5 seed. They can do whatever they want. It's their bracket. That makes Northern Iowa the 12 seed. Like, that's how it works. For people that don't know, in a 16-man bracket or team bracket, the 2 numbers have to add up to 17. So 1 versus 16, et cetera, down 8 versus 9. So if you're the 5 and I'm wrestling you, I'm in the 12 seed slot. Okay. I mean, they might not have seeded the 12, but I'm in the 12 seed slot. Northern Iowa does not have the 12th best dual meet team in this tournament. It's way better.
Yeah. But I watched the show where they drew the where they ping pong balls with the school's logo on it, and they put their hand on a thing that was turning and looking the other way and picked out the teams, and that's how they did it. So I don't think they intentionally drew NC State as the number 5 seed. I think that's just how it happened.
Well, Mark, what you watched was them drawing. Did you watch where they go on the bracket?
I watched where they had the top 4 seeds, and then they drew in from line 2 all the way down to the bottom, and they just did the ping pong balls.
I would agree with you, unless it's like an NBA lottery conspiracy where like the ping pong ball was cold or something. But it worked out where they're the 5 seed, and that was the 2 teams that were being debated. I'm actually fine with that. Like if it's super close, then make them the 4 and the 5. Sure. That's actually fair. I mean, because if they're the 5 seed and you draw them into Iowa first round, that's worse.
Yep.
So, okay, here's the schedule. Saturday, 9 a.m., first quarter bracket, our first 4 round of 16 matches. Iowa, Mizzou, Illinois, Little Rock, Northern Iowa, NC State, and Okie State, Cornell. Second round at 11, front side. Ohio State, Wyoming, VTech, Minnesota, which is the duel of the first round to watch. Arizona State, Michigan, Lehigh, Nebraska. Then that's 9 and 11. There's a lunch break. At 3 is the first round of consies. So those teams that lost the first round, those teams match up. At 5 is the quarterfinals. And then at 7 is the second round of consies. And that's it for day 1. Day 2, they have the front semis and the back semis at 10. And then at 12, they have the 3rd, 5th, and 7th place matches. And then there's a break till 6 o'clock. Every duel is on Flow, with the exception of the final, which has now been bumped from ESPNU to ESPN2. So that's great. A lot more people have ESPN2 as a part of a subscription than ESPNU. And Flow did a great job of potential first-round matchups. When I say potential, like I think there's a chance if Iowa's killing Missouri, they don't wrestle Ferrari against Sinclair. Like I feel like that kind of makes sense.
I could see them putting out Gabe Arnold.
Yeah. And I think there's load management for these guys, right? I'll give you a perfect example. I don't think Facundo's going to wrestle Simon Ruiz.
Okay.
Because I just think with the path he has, like if Oklahoma State keeps winning, he'd have Ruiz and then a tough match at 74 and then Patrick Kennedy, theoretically, if the seeds hold, and then Minto.
Or Karchla.
Right, but if the seeds, okay.
Yeah, really good guy. Really good guy.
All top 7 dudes.
Yep.
So if he wrestles 3 top 7 dudes instead of 4, I don't think you're like, well, he didn't get any good competition. We don't know where he is now. Of course you know where he is now.
Yep.
And you probably know better than if you ran him out in a gauntlet 4 in a row like that. He might lose some matches the second day just because every match he had on the first day was a cat fight from the first scramble.
Yep.
And I can tell you this right now, they do not need Facundo to beat Cornell with the lineup Cornell has right now.
No.
Okay, well, but I'm saying that matters as well.
It does. I agree.
I mean, like if somehow Cornell's up 5-2 at that point in the duel, or I guess it would be 4-2 or 5-1, that dude's wrestling. If Oklahoma State's up 4-2 and they still have Zach Ryder, Cody Merrill, Connor Doucette, I don't think Facundo's wrestling.
Yeah. You might be right. It makes sense.
I'm just telling you what I would do.
Yeah.
Like you want that kid to have success. You also want your team to go as far as you can. So, and this is not technically a home duel, but it is a home duel, and they don't have another home meet until 2026.
Yeah.
And anybody says it isn't a home duel has never been in the Big 12.
Correct.
For various reasons, some that we can talk about and some we cannot talk about. So. All right. Well, Marco will be watching. I will be there. We will be doing live review podcasts in between rounds with Jeremy Rooks from Elite Wrestling Productions. We're going to have a special guest youngster host with us as well, Mark. Guy,
Yeah.
real historian of the sport, super nice young man, Fargo champ.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate you guys watching and listening. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Thank you guys so much.